Hi everyone. Today I want to show you how to make roads on the SketchUp to Rhino terrain files that we've been making before. So I'm going to start by opening up my terrain file, which comes in as a SketchUp file. And again we have the mesh, which is 3D, and we have a 2D mesh. So we're going to use the 3D mesh to create our surface in Rhino, and we're going to use the 2D mesh to give us the outline and the visibility on the roads. So I'm going to start with hiding this flat surface, and I'm going to start with draping over our existing topography here. And I'm going to set my spacing today at 25 so that I have a reasonable amount of cells in my new surface, but not too many. So let's see how that worked out. I'm going to hide my mesh, and this is a rather large but still accurate representation of the 3D that we started with. So the cells are a little bit bigger than if you would set the spacing to 5, but it still represents it very accurately. And now the second part, let me show everything again. The second part is we're going to trace the roads on the map. So for that, I'm going to maximize my top view. Actually, first I'm going to set it to rendered so I can see where my roads are. And I'm going to hide my two 3D topographies here. And I'm going to maximize my top view. So now I need to trace the roads on my map. And one of the easiest tools for that is curve interpolation. So you can use this tool to draw a curve. So if your roads start outside of your map, you can start outside. And with curve interpolation, you're going to create a curve that follows the road pretty closely. You can zoom in with the mouse while you're doing this command. So I'm just going to pretend that this road continues just for simplicity, because otherwise I'll be tracing this road till the end of time. All right, and I'm going to close my curve, and that's going to be what I'm going to carve out as my street. So now that's done, I can go back to my shaded view and make this top a little bit less. And then I'm going to bring back all my 3D parts. I'm going to hide or even delete the old mesh. At this point, I can also delete the flat part. And now what I have is in my perspective view, I have my drawn road and my 3D surface, neither of which are extruded at this point. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude by dragging on the gumball. I'm going to extrude the road. Let me turn this to shaded so you can see what's happening here. So I extrude it, and I'm going to move it down so that it's completely intersecting my topography. I'm going to use the split command to split the surface object with this road object. Let me try that again. Split the surface with this road object. There we go. And now you can see that I have in my surface, on the outside surface, a road is cut out. And if I hide this road extrusion, I can even move this road curve a little bit up. But now I have a piece of surface that's cut out and a piece of surface that's remaining. So now what I can do is I can increase my surface a bit Let's say I want to move this up by 1 foot. Now I can extrude both down separately, and what will remain will be an indent of the road. Now you can take all these volumes and Boolean union them. Before I do that, I'm going to double check to see if the bottom half or the bottom here is completely dispersed, separate from the top, which it isn't. So I'm going to undo for a second, and I'm going to zoom out on my front view. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that as I go down, the top of the bottom is below the bottom of the top, like this. And now I can use the technique of creating a box to do a Boolean difference again. To trim the bottom of my surface. Boolean difference. So here you see I trimmed it from the object to subtract from. Actually, it by accident selected only the surface. I also should have selected my road, so I will do that separately. So I can just restart that command, Boolean difference, select my road volume, and then subtract with this box. Now delete the box, and what I'm left with is a smooth surface with an indent of my road. That's it.